Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Do Marketing Differently podcast presented by Go Rogue X. This is the podcast dedicated to helping you give value. Think outside the box. Go rogue with your content, as it were. Yeah. Stand out from the crowd. Make sure you subscribe because every week we're going to be bringing you tips and tricks and all kinds of really cool things to make sure that you're promoting your message, that you're helping people that you're serving first. So, hey, I'm Brian Fitton, and I'm here with Lauren Lewis.
Hey.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good. Hey, we are recording in our new space.
Yeah.
Partnered with Soapbox Influence. We're officing together now, and so we got a new spot.
Yeah.
Glad to be back in the studio and recording again. And honestly, today's episode is very exciting because it's the more you know.
Yep, you need to be in the know.
You need to be in the know, especially in social marketing, social media marketing, and digital marketing in general. All this stuff is constantly changing. So we got some really cool stuff to talk about. So let's just dive into it. Let's get into it right now.
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
I am totally ready.
All right. This is like our rapid fire time.
Right.
Just going through.
You're starting.
Yes, I am starting. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about today, I'm going to bring up my notes here, is IG Reels, so Instagram Reels, that just came out recently, the past month, I think.
Yeah. So tell us, for those who have never used Reels, what is it?
So it's basically copying what TikTok is doing.
Sure.
So Instagram, Facebook, they all tend to do, even Apple, I talked about this last time, like Apple tends to find an idea and then just make it better.
Sure.
And so Instagram did that with Snapchat. They stole stories. And then I think they made them better. Snapchat has some cool features, but again, it's like to a mass audience, they make it very appealing to a bigger audience. And so anyway, so Reels is kind of the same thing where it is a very short video, so 15-second videos that are really geared towards that TikTok user or somebody, I would say even a business who is not really excited to get on TikTok. Not saying that you can. We have a great episode with American Estates that they are just killing it in the TikTok game.
Right.
But this is an alternative that you can use if you're a business to really get in front of a lot of people in a different audience too.
Sure.
And so I've already seen, so there's been several different businesses that have actually used this well, but one is Jasmine Star. I don't know if you guys follow her. She's kind of a social media influencer, personal coach or business coach or whatever. She does some really cool things with her. So she actually showed how to do an actual IG reel, and then she also went through like the steps. So she brought some value. So it's like what you need for a podcast.
Sure.
And so she recorded it and launched it and then showed the kind of the behind the scenes, the how she did it. But it was really cool and it's really fast and catchy. And it's one of those things, again, where Instagram is putting a lot of traffic behind this and a lot of focus on this.
Right.
So you have a chance right now, if you jump on early, to be able to be in front of a new audience or an audience that maybe wouldn't have seen your content otherwise.
Which is awesome.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you should totally be checking out how to make your first reel. Don't overthink it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Put it out there. I think there's a lot of people that once they do it for the first time, that fear is gone, and then they start to get really creative with it. So I would totally jump on this train. It's definitely going to catch.
Absolutely. Make sure you go follow Go Rogue X on Instagram to see Lauren and her first Instagram reel that we're going to have on our IG page. So.
Yes. We're going to get that
exciting.
done. Yes.
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 You should take your own advice. Just go do it.
I should. Absolutely. I get way too in my head. So yeah. I'm going to do it though. Hold me to it.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, I'm excited. And make sure you guys tag us too. If you do your first reel, we would love to see it.
Yeah.
So tag us in there, share it with us so we can see what you're creating out there.
Absolutely.
Very exciting stuff. All right. What are you covering?
So I'm talking about Canva today.
Yes.
So I absolutely love Canva. If you are not familiar with this tool, it's mainly a desktop tool, graphic design tool. You can use it mobilely, but their app has a long way to go. But it's really built for those that are beginner in graphic design. And they have a ton of templates and elements that you can use. And we absolutely love Canva. We sing their praises. And so they have some new features, and one of the things I absolutely love about Canva is they continue to push the bar. They are not just happy with the status quo. They continue to bring new things to the platform. So I'm always checking back each month, and I'm always pleasantly surprised, which is great. So one of their new features is Canva Live. And so they said, engage your audience by allowing them to submit questions and comments directly into a presenter view right from your favorite mobile device. And so what's great about it, if you've ever used like Kahoot, which is a presentation tool kind of for trivia or quizzes, you can log in with a special code and then you can interact with that. And so this is doing that with presentations. And what I think is fantastic about it is that you can make it super interactive. So you could do a Q&A session. You can pop a question up on there and talk with that. You could kind of do like a warm-up for a presentation or a class that you're doing. How is everyone doing? Drop your favorite emoji or whatever. I'm not sure the limits that it has, but
adding gifts in there or anything
that would be great. That's what I was about to say. But I was like, I don't know if it'll allow you to do that.
Yeah.
But since it's coming from your mobile device, it's possible. I don't know. But I think as a former teacher, the more interactive you can make your presentation, the better. And so we've used Canva before for a presentation, and it's got some limitations. We're used to doing a lot of editing as video editors. So we were a little bit not as thrilled with some of the limitations, but I think for what it's doing, they're continually improving it. So I think it's going to do really great. And they have some amazing templates to use from presentation. But what takes your presentation to the next level is being able to have that interactive element. So you should totally check out Canva Live.
Yeah, absolutely.
So another thing about Canva that came out this month was their text effects. So I've actually been waiting this for a long time. And they have done drop shadow and some other effects.
Finally, with the drop shadow.
Yes.
That's why I was laughing, by the way, because it's some very basic features that are available in most even non-paid apps, right? And so, anyway,
No, it's crazy.
Finally here.
And it's done really, really well. They did roll it out, so it's available for all your text. It's not just like 3 fonts and that's it that you're doing. They did it well. And they have some different effects like drop shadow, lift, neon, glitch, echo, some different things that you can do. I've been playing a lot with the neon element. It's been really fun. So you should definitely check out Canva. If you're not on it, you totally should be. There's no excuse as a small business owner. If you are that person or a marketer, this is a great tool to be using. And they're expanding that. They're going into video editing. They have a lot of photos. So there's so much you can do with Canva. But the new features that you should be aware of is new text effects and Canva Live.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and just we've talked about it in the past, and even on a recent episode with Nicole Hamilton, who was a designer, it's like this is a great entry-level tool that you can use if you're not, if you don't have a lot of design experience or anything like that. And so it is one of those things of jumping into it, getting your hands dirty, and they make it really easy too with the templates they have it set up that you can really kind of plug and play with your own photos, change to your text, your colors, your brand style guides and different things like that, kind of bring all of those in and really make it unique to you and your business without having to learn Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator or any of these other, pretty in-depth tools. So
absolutely. And they're also adding templates every month, which is fantastic. So you're not going to be really running into other people that are using the same design because they only have 10 templates. They have hundreds.
Kind of like word swag.
Oh my gosh.
We used to love some word swag back in the day. Hashtag word swag.
Dead word swag.
Dead word swag. But now it's come to the point where it really was the only, for what it was great.
Yeah.
Then everybody found it, and then it just, marketers, we
way overused.
We ruin everything. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. But there wasn't enough ways to diversify it to fit you, and so then it just became irrelevant. And so now if anyone uses it, I know immediately they're doing word swag, and I'm like, wait, are you like stuck 2 years ago? And I'm so judgmental about it.
She goes into a mean girl mode.
I do.
Wait, are you so 2 years ago? Seriously.
It's true, though.
It is. And so we love those people who are still using word swag, but we just want to help you.
Yes.
We just want to make sure that you have new tools to be able to use.
Absolutely.
So I want to hit on real quick. You talked about Canva Live. This is a great option. Again, you talked about it for presenting and all that stuff. Of not having them jump between platforms because you talked about it using Kahoot, which is a great tool. But if you're in presentation mode, now we're doing, especially virtual, now jump to another app, now go to this other app, now back to the presentation. If it's all in one, it just makes it so seamless. So make sure you guys try those out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so my next one is Instagram again as well. It is so I don't know if you guys use Threads at all. I don't know why you would. I have it, and it's completely pointless in my mind.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to. So first, there's Threads, but what I'm going to be talking about is basically the voice to text option in Threads, which is actually really cool.
Yeah, it is.
I think that at some point, I hope that they will move it all into one app.
Right.
Kind of like they did with Instagram TV. When it first launched, it was a completely separate app, and you're like, I can view TV in my Instagram app, but I create in my IGTV app, and it's kind of the same thing with Threads. It's like basically built to where it's social, like close friend network.
Yeah.
And so I get the point of it, but that's not what people don't go to Instagram for that specifically, you know, to just share with your close friends, because you can still do that within the app too. Whenever you're sharing a story or a post or anything, you can select your close friends list.
I get annoyed when I have to pop over to Threads because something's in there.
Yeah. Because I get notified. Oh, hey, somebody tagged you in something.
Yeah, it goes green, and I'm like, I really wish it was just pink on Instagram.
So I'm assuming, and this is just my thought, of that's where it's going to be going, that they're going to combine it with the app. But there are some really cool features in there, especially if you're looking at doing on-screen captions. They already have this basically for lyrics for music, right? Yeah. The lyrics will show up on the on your video itself. But this actually does a great job of putting the text really in places, at least when I used it, putting it in places where your head was not. So they were kind of identifying where you were in the screen, and putting the text in a really cool, just not distracting spot, which is awesome. I mean, it's a great technology, really cool, something to use if you're creating stories, but create it in Threads and then take it over and drop it into your Instagram app, which is really sad that you have to do all that work, but it is a really cool feature. So I'm glad they're kind of pushing the bounds with this. I think there's well, I have to bring this up because we met, I can't even remember his name, from Instagram, works on the stories side of the Instagram platform. Yes, he was at Megaphone. His name was Matt. Big shout out. He's actually from Northwest Arkansas or had some connection.
He lives in California. Just had a baby. I follow him on Instagram. I just don't remember his last name.
You actually got him. He has a private account.
I know.
I don't think I ever actually followed him.
I'm special.
Yeah. But it was kind of funny because he's over just like, or not over. I don't know what his actual position is, but he works on stories. That is his specific offering that he works with Instagram. And so anyway, he was just talking about it. Crap, now I forgot where I was going with that. Oh my goodness. That's so funny. Anyway, you would think, that's what it was. He said that you would think that there's this like massive team of people at Instagram.
Yeah.
But there's really not. I mean, there are developers and there are people. I mean, they have a healthy sized team, but you're thinking, they've got 15,000 people, working just on stories. No, that's not true. It's a pretty small team. So it's interesting to see how they roll these things out. And now with that perspective, I'm like, oh yeah, like it's just a small group of people trying things out and testing things out.
Sure.
Then moving it to, combining it with the bigger apps and the different things in the feed and whatever else. So anyway, that was a completely useless point.
Yes.
And I'm so sorry that I went into all of that. But anyway, so Lauren, passing it on. We're just going to leave that in there. We'll just pass it off to you.
We'll pass it on. Okay, so I'm talking about Twitter, which is a platform I really find pointless. But
this episode today is just so helpful. We have so many opinions that you didn't ask for.
Right. So you might love Twitter. And I think, with our recent political climate, Twitter has rocketed back up just because of our president choosing to use it. So I'm sure Twitter is, in some ways thankful.
Yeah.
And so,
saved it.
Anyways, Twitter is trying to claw its way back. And I give a big shout out to those platforms that instead of just keeling over, that they are like, no, we're going to fight back and we're going to make ourselves relevant again. And so they have two new features that I think are interesting. One is to tweet your voice. So this allows you to record up to 140 seconds of audio. So if you are limited by the character limit on a tweet, then you can record your own voice. And it looks really cool. It's kind of stylish and everything. I just don't know how many people go onto Twitter and are going to listen to audio. That's my curiosity of how many people are using this feature, how many people actually wanted it. That's kind of the thing, is where I'm like, I don't know who wanted this.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'll give them a pat on the back for saying, hey, you tried something new, and you never know.
Well, and I think we talked about this. I mean, where voice is going in general, right? And so if the AI is going more in the search engine optimization world, where it actually is able to analyze audio,
right?
I think that's a huge factor. of being able to really kind of be out in front and people searching for certain things, and you have an audio clip of that. Now we did talk about it. I'm an audio guy, and
yes,
so
I am not.
I could legit like sit there as long as it's like auto plays, like people tweeting and just hit play and then just hit the next tweet and the next tweet and the next tweet. No, but yeah, I think it is good. As you said, good job for them for trying something new.
Absolutely.
I just wonder. So as you were talking, I was thinking about this. I'm like, I wonder if we could add podcast clips into that, and it'd be like some type of tweet.
That would be cool. It's just interesting.
If you're not watching on video right now, Lauren's face was hilarious.
Okay, well.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just always think of the possibilities of kind of reaching outside the box. And I'm sure that they'll go to, oh, now you have a voice tweet, but now it's an audiogram, and it shows all kinds of.
Right.
So anyway, we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
We will. So one thing that, again, I always applaud these platforms that are trying to do something different. And this one I think is pretty cool. So they came out with fleets, and these are still in certain different regions. And fleets, which is a weird name. Sorry, they chose a weird name. Anyways, they chose to name their stories. Twitter stories are called fleets. And so they are rolling out stories, which I think is great. Stories have been wildly successful on platforms, and it is one of the most viewed pieces of content now. And so I think it's great that they're putting that together. But they decided to come out with something called collaborative fleets. I'm going to read you a quote. Twitter's very own story feature has yet to be rolled out in most regions. To further rock the boat, Twitter just announced that they're working on a collaborative fleets function. This functionality would enable two contributors to engage and co-create double bubble fleets.
Double bubble, all the way.
So this is a really cool idea that I think will come in handy when two brands engage in co-branding or collaborative campaigns. And so when Brian and I were talking about this feature earlier before we jumped on this recording is the idea that two brands could come together and collaborate, and it will actually be two little bubbles that come together. So you'd click on it knowing it's two brands working together or two people working together. Yeah. What I think is going to happen, unfortunately for Twitter, is I totally think Instagram will take this and make it probably 100 times better.
Yeah.
And they won't name it double bubble fleets.
But Twitter.
I think it's awesome idea.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It kind of goes beyond that tagging ability to like, oh, I'm going to share your story. It's like, no, we're going to be in a story together, but we're apart. Yeah. Which I think is also really cool in quarantine times as well. Yep. So I think the idea of this is fantastic.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Yeah, and again, shout out to Twitter who's trying to think.
Yeah.
So you said, I mean, there are tweets and there are fleets. So I guess they were trying to make something rhyme. I don't know why they didn't just call it stories. I mean, it's stories on Instagram and
why didn't they just like continue with the bird?
Yeah, that's true. Maybe fleeting away.
I don't know.
Who knows?
They could do something with like a song. They could have done something better than double bubble fleets.
This is just the Mean Girls episode.
Sorry.
Basically, we are just making terrible, like, I was about to say making fun of Twitter, but anyway.
No, we were applauding Twitter for trying things, just saying on a branding level, you probably could have done better.
Backhanded compliment. It's good. Hey, I do think, again, Instagram's probably, I agree, probably going to steal it, make it a lot better. But it's cool to see kind of new technology pushing forward.
Absolutely.
And that type of thing. So,
absolutely.
There's something coming up. All right, here we go. So the last thing that we're going to talk about real quick for me specifically. Yeah. Are you done? Is that all you had? Nice. All right. So last thing. So with COVID and all of basically the pandemic that we've been going through, I'm just going to make a ploy to you. Is it a ploy? No. Okay. I'm going to implore you. There we go. Oh man, my coffee hasn't hit me yet. I'm going to implore you to implore you. Good grief. If you're still hanging on, God bless you.
We're not hiring right now.
Yeah. I'm just going to make this challenge to you because video itself has just blown up, obviously, in insane amounts during this pandemic because everybody's had to go virtual. So ways of connecting were obviously through video. And so I think you have a great opportunity right now, especially in social media and marketing in general, to use video. So there are tons of video platforms out there. We've done lots and lots around video marketing and different tools that you can use. We recently launched a new rebroadcasted episode with C.R. Braniff. They do YouTube and vlogging and different things like that. He has really even pushed that into a business portion too to kind of promote what they're doing. He does a great interview with us about storytelling through video.
Yeah.
Good grief, I'm gonna get there, I promise.
Yeah.
It is one of those things. I think that it's highly engaging right now, and so if you're not already using video, you need to be.
Yeah.
And this is again one of the greatest times to do it. I think just in general though, getting out there, we'll have some resources and different things like that. But video follow-ups and DMs, I've done that. I've had success myself with even talking with kind of higher level people who you would never actually get interactions with, but sending them a video message. It obviously is completely different, right? And it shows your personality, it shows that you're real. And so it's definitely a way of connecting with people. But again, through your business, doing this, I mean, people are consuming more video. We talked about stats, and I always get our stats wrong. What was the stats, Lauren? You remember 80% of video people in 2021, and then it like skyrocketed because of the pandemic?
Yeah, the statistic like a couple months ago was that in 2021, like 80% of all content will be video. I have a feeling that will change dynamically because of the pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that'll be higher, or it'll happen sooner. I have a feeling it just will happen sooner.
Yeah. So if you're not already doing it, you should be. Instagram TV is a great way to do it. So if you have a message or a video that is longer than a minute, Instagram is pushing a lot of traffic to Instagram TV. So make sure you're uploading your videos, not just under that minute. Try to go over that minute so that it can be identified as an Instagram TV video. And you can choose you can do some cool things with your cover photos. You can do a lot with it inside the app too.
Right.
And so again, there's lots of things that are happening, especially with video, but right now is the best time, to be doing this, because there are a lot of companies that have pulled back on their marketing budget during this time to kind of save some money, which is understandable depending on what business that you're in.
Right.
But if you have that extra budget, push it towards video ads, video plays, TikTok, like jump on all the platforms and really just test it, see what works, and make it worth it. I guarantee it's going to be worth your time.
Absolutely.
Any follow-up on that?
I mean,
I'm just teasing. I rambled enough on that.
I just think I know this is a great time to also like be mindful of like your health and your mental health and everything, and take good breaks from social media, because there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But if you can set some hard goals to dig deep and push out, because your content is going to be consumed so much more than normal times, and so it is a great time. It's a ripe time. It's just a hard time to also be on social media.
Yeah.
So it's just honest feedback.
Yeah. And honestly, bring that value.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. Give the people who are following you, make sure that you honor them by giving them value and not just something else to consume. Right. So, all right. Well, hey, challenge this week. Make sure that you tag us in your first reel.
Yes.
Use your video skills and tag us in that. We really want to see it and see what you're creating. But make sure you go follow us over on Instagram at GoRogueX, and then also GoRogueX.com. All the blog and all the show notes and everything will be there. All the links and stuff that we've talked about today will be there.
Yeah.
So very excited. Hey, and I guess until next time.
Yeah.
We'll see you later.